สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ
Welcome to NBT World's The Fireside. I'm Benjamin Ruchopagan.
And I'm Warisa Nidanat Gomon. Every week we have a fireside chat exploring what's going on in Thailand, diving deep into our latest obsessions.
Now, in this episode of The Fireside, we're going to look at the viral public aerobic sessions at Lumpini Park. Now, these aerobic sessions have existed for years, but the current surge can be traced to a very specific inflection point, which is some content that reframed something that's very familiar to all of us as something that's challenging and actually worth attempting. So when you first saw the Lumpini aerobics, did you feel like it was just another trend, or did it immediately stand out to you as something special?
It didn't stand out to me as something special at all because I used to live around that area and I see, the older generations do that every single day. And okay, there's a new gen that's kind of jamming in, but it didn't occur to me at all that it was a trend, but good for them.
They seem really taken with the idea that there's this mass aerobics kind of session outdoors where everybody's like jamming together and they're all strangers who have never met each other before, but they seem very familiar with each other. So it felt very Thai to me.
Right.
I'll say that.
Right. Well, you're talking about, influencers, right? So we think that this trend began on February 11th, 2026, a very specific date, because that is when South Korean rapper-singer Lee Tae-yong, a member of the boy band NCT, uploaded a vlog showing himself attempting an outdoor Lumpini aerobics class. Now, it's important to remember that Tae-yong is considered the main dancer of his group, and he even admitted in that post that Thai aerobics are really difficult. Now, Tae-yong's struggle to keep up with the instructor's footwork became an endearing moment quickly shared on social media. And what had long been seen as a casual, even kind of uncool, was suddenly repositioned as a coordination challenge, a test of endurance, and also something worth attempting. With Tae-yong's global audience, the clip circulated quickly across TikTok, Instagram Reels, and fan communities. The routine became recognizable beyond Thailand and, more importantly, repeatable. People could try it themselves.
You can tell that we're not NCT fans because we're struggling so hard with this name.
Yeah, Tae-yong.
Tae-yong. So following the viral moment, attendance at Lumpini's evening sessions grew significantly. So crowds now regularly reach hundreds of participants per session, and the peak nights are pushed even higher. The space has shifted from a loosely organized workout area into something that's closer to a scheduled mass gathering. And what was once just, a local activity now is more of an event. Participants will arrive early to secure their spot. Spectators will gather around the perimeter to see what's going on, and phones are always out taking content. So the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, or BMA, acknowledged Tae-yong's influence and really thanked him publicly for making aerobics in Lumpini Park a real must-do activity in the capital. So do you think this would have taken off without his influence?
I really doubt it because, influencers are kind of like the modern day celebrities on television that we see. We trust them, and whatever they say in their vlogs, especially if it's super casual, people are like, I guess it is a challenge. Maybe I should try it for myself as well. Maybe that's what it is.
I gotta say, the Hallyu wave, the K-pop wave or K-drama wave, whatever you want to call it, every time like a K-pop influencer makes something hot, everybody follows it. And in this case, I'm not hating at all because I love that more people are, taking advantage of this great public service that we have in this unique part of our culture, So yeah, I think I welcome it.
Right. Soft power without spending money. That's the best. And this growth isn't just physical, it's amplified online. So short form videos of Lumpini aerobics have accumulated millions of views across platforms. I'm pretty sure we've all seen at least a couple of them. The format is inherently viral, synchronized movement, clear choreography, and a strong sense of scale. Massive amounts of people. I actually had the opportunity to walk at Lumpini Park just randomly at one time. I kid you not, eyeballing it, probably 500 people easily.
Wow.
It's very big. It goes all the way to the back.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
there are other stages as well ever since they started doing it. So I'm not doubting that at all.
Right. And also, clips often emphasize the contrast. First-timers struggling versus experienced dancers moving in perfect timing. You'll probably see me doing the first-timer struggling portion of that. And anyhow, all of this creates a loop. People see it online, they show up to try, film themselves, post it, and then more people feel, inclined to try it for themselves.
You know, I've seen some of these like so-called first-timers versus experienced dancers videos, and I gotta say, like every time there's one that's really extra or one that looks really good, I'm so doubtful that that's the actual choreography that's up on stage.
Right.
I'm like, well, this is so different. I find it very like sus, to be honest, because it feels so extra. But I mean, more power to them if they're having fun. So, what do you think makes this content so shareable compared to like other fitness trends?
Well, number one, I think the fact that Taeyong did it first and everybody loves him, if they
Yeah.
just want to follow that trend. Also, there's something about dancing and music in general that people just love moving their bodies to. I have no idea why we just like want to move in synchronization. What's your thought on that?
I mean, yeah, I'm not totally sure. I'm not somebody that like consistently, comes out with viral hits, but I do think that there's something about, trying together. You don't have to be perfect, so it feels very accessible to try it. And also, it's not about you dancing necessarily, but it's about the crowd. It's about you being at the crowd and participating together. And the fact that so many different age groups are trying, there's no way that there's going to be like the perfect dancer or something. Like nobody's out for perfection. People are just out there to have a good time. So it is something really accessible to me. So I think that's part of the appeal. But while the city didn't actually initiate the trend, it really responded quite quickly, I think, once the scale of the trend became clear. The BMA has since installed projector screens so that participants can follow the routines more easily, so they don't have to like focus on the tiny dancer in the, super far away. And they've also upgraded the sound systems to handle larger crowds, and they supported the setup of a more defined stage area that was sponsored by, private partners. And in addition to all of this, there was a parallel program to launch the Hawker Center, which provides affordable eats and serves new demand at the Lumpini Park. So that Hawker Center is open from 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. and from 4 p.m. to midnight. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner, basically.
I'm really happy that they kind of opened the Hawker Center for a longer period of time, because I remember there was the early, like before 2026, it was only open at a very specific period in the morning, like maybe 4 a.m. until 7 a.m. and then it just finished.
Right.
So this is great. So after you do your aerobics class, you can come and eat and all that.
Refuel.
Yeah. And the city even invited Darathon Yutong, who goes by Dada, to lead an aerobics session at the park. Now, Dada is a Thai dancer, model, and beauty pageant contestant who gained international attention at Miss Grand Kalasin 2026 in the Miss Grand Thailand competition. During the 2026 Miss Grand Thailand swimsuit round in Pattaya, Darathon broke convention with a high-energy top rock routine to Nobody by Wonder Girls. Now, top rocking, for those of you who don't know it, is usually the stand-up portion of a breakdancing routine that is used as a transitional choreography. Now, the performance contrasts sharply with the traditional pageant walks and was dubbed as the Kalasin strut.
I love that, the Galasid strut, because it is kind of different from other top rocking, so I think it's fair to give it its own name. Now, while Darathon finished in the top 20 and did not win the national title, her performance really redefined expectations of poise and stage presence in Thai pageantry. I think she's the first contestant to actually, not to be, weird about it, but she's the first contestant to outshine the actual pageant winner.
Yes.
Now, her appearance in Lumpini Park became the collision of two social media trends. It's her top rocking plus the aerobics. Now, the activity definitely has social and commercial value, and the participation isn't just a niche thing, but really mainstream. And they're not stopping there. The BMA sees a chance to spearhead a broader healthy city initiative using the Suan Lum model, that's what they're calling it, as a blueprint. The city is looking to equip more parks with sound systems and professional instructors to provide free, high-quality exercise to the public. And this isn't just for mega parks like Chatuchak or Suan Luang Rama 9, but for the city's smaller spaces as well. The goal is to bring organized aerobics to over 400 neighborhood community parks in partnership with private sponsors. Now, currently, there's 38 active aerobics locations throughout Bangkok beyond Lumpini, and you can find them on the BMA's official learning portal, now featuring a comprehensive map of all the registered aerobics communities across the city's 50 districts, allowing residents to find their local dance plaza via their phones. And even the Hawker Center is a pilot program that the city is looking to expand citywide to find a way to reorganize street food stalls. And I'll admit that that part of the program is controversial because a lot of people like the street food culture in Bangkok, but a lot of people do find it to be a less walkable city. And that is part of the problem.
Right. I personally like that there's a dedicated hawker space because authorities can also monitor the cleanliness,
So true.
Yeah, the trash is all contained in one little, area, and then it's easy to gather that. So I'm glad that a lot is happening, and having Lumpini as kind of like the, how to call it, the guinea pig or like the trial spot.
I think
is
so.
good.
I think it's the best place to start that because it has the most, eyes on it right now. And since it has so much foot traffic, you can really see whether or not, the Hawker Center kind of model works. And, frankly, it worked for me when I visited Singapore. I thought it was fine, although it's not quite the same as in Bangkok where there's food on every corner. Like you really have to walk, you have to like sort of journey to the Hawker Center. But in Bangkok, there's street food around every corner, and I kind of like that.
Going back to Bangkok Governor Kun Chachat Sithipan, he said, quote, this model works well. It's not about the BMA doing everything, but about people coming together. It's truly a people's activity. Budget isn't the main issue. Cooperation is what drives society forward, end quote. So how do you feel about the city stepping in?
Well, I like that the city is doing what it can to support the trend, but I do kind of have my reservations about creating dedicated equipment that might not be maintainable in the long term. With all the equipment that they add, there's going to be an added cost, and there's going to give it a sense of formality, that, oh, this is an event that people show up to, and I'm not really like, it kind of changes the vibe of it from something spontaneous to something more organized. So that's my critique of it, but I do like that they're supporting it. What about you?
I feel like trends, they come and go anyway, so it's kind of cool to see the city flowing with the trend, and they're boosting it as well. Like using Dada as the spearhead to this whole trend and continuing the trend, making people more. They know the trend of exercising and aerobics more. So that's
I
nice.
like that they use Dada as well. I thought it was such like a stroke of genius. She's her rocket is still on the upshoot. So I love that they married the two trends. And there's even some people like going further, like they're taking the Sabay and jeans trend and to the Lumpini aerobics as well. So
Wow.
I know.
Might as well
I would
bring a lotus flower
I
as well.
know, like do all three, right? So while Lumpini might be seen as the grand stage of these kind of aerobics sessions, there are other public parks and rec centers that are worth exploring. So our first recommendation here is Saranrom Park, which is located behind the Grand Palace in Ratanako Sin District. Now this is an absolutely bustling local atmosphere where aerobics share the space with yoga, jogging, and intense sepak takraw matches. It's pretty traditional in my opinion. That's kind of the vibe of public park aerobics that I've come to expect. Now, the crowd mostly consists of locals from the old city, which offers a more kind of traditional and community-focused feeling than the viral scene that you see at Lumpini. And the park is open from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., where the aerobic sessions typically hitting their stride or their full momentum in the early evening.
Right. And looking at a different area, our next recommendation is Santipap Park. Now, this is a small but popular oasis in the Ratchathewi district, which is kind of near Victory Monument. So if you get off BTS Victory Monument and keep walking, you'll find it. The vibe there is clean, airy, and intimate. It is a favorite for those who find the sprawling size of Lumpini overwhelming, and also in the Ratchathewi district, there's a lot of residential, so a lot of residents are also...
It's a perfect place to have a park, for sure.
For sure, yes. And the dedicated aerobics dance floors hosts sessions on Monday through Friday from 6 to 6:40 p.m. So only a 40-minute session there. And like I said before, it's via the Victory Monument BTS station, and it makes it perfect for a commuter cardio stop.
Yeah, like if you want to like get in a little cardio after work. Although, to be honest, I'm dead tired at the end of around 6:40. I'm ready to pass out. But yeah, if that's when you normally work out, it's perfect, right? So there's also Benjakiti Park, which is known for its really striking wetland forest design, and it has an adorable dog park. I love the BMA dog park there. So following the launch of the Benjakiti Park for Better Health project, the area has been upgraded with state-of-the-art resistance training equipment, which is great for me. I love weight training. So unlike the pure cardio of the aerobics plazas, the venue encourages a blend of both dance fitness and strength training. Now, this is a massive hub, which is serving over 10,000 users a day and on weekends, and is physically connected to the Lumpini Park as well via the Green Mile Skywalk elevated walkway. So connecting two major downtown parks with this walkway, which I think is a stroke of genius.
Right. And I see tons of people just jogging on that bridge because it's pretty, how do you call it? Like, it's riap, which is like it's very leveled, so you don't have like the bumpy parts, and people just like sprint through that area. It's really great.
Right. I love that.
And now finally, we have our last area to recommend, which is Suan Luang Rama 9, or in Thai, Suan Luang Ro 9, one of Bangkok's largest parks located in the eastern Prawe district. Now, the vibe is majestic. It's serene. It's set against the iconic Ratchamongkol Pavilion. Interestingly, the park offers both dawn and dusk sessions, making it the destination for early birds who want to beat the Bangkok heat.
Yeah, around 6:30, that's prime time for me. Like once you get past like into rush hour, then it's, what's the point in this heat, And we had that episode about Bangkok heat, so we know all about that. Now, what's happening at Lumpini Park, in my opinion, isn't just about the exercise, but who is showing up to the park. Now, the rise of Lumpini aerobics sits at the intersection of two shifts in my imagination. There's the intergenerational public space, and then there's the broader change in how people socialize in Bangkok. Now, at Lumpini Park, it's common to see a mix of participants. There's the office worker getting off their job, and they're usually in their 20s and 30s, and then there's retirees and elderly regulars that are always visiting the park and staying active there and meeting with each other as well. And then there's the first-timers along with the seasoned participants, in a younger cohort. So in the city where people, they really just socialize within their own circles, I find that it's very difficult to strike up a conversation with a stranger, unlike in like other cities in the West. So I think it is a rare chance for, an intergenerational space where you can meet strangers and you can be friendly across generations, and everyone's following the same routine and they have the same mission, the same goal. So I think it's a really vital third space that isn't home, isn't work, where people can gather without any kind of structure. They can gather spontaneously. So can you think, like, when was the last time you were in like an intergenerational multi-purpose space like that?
Oh, it'll be like during New Year's, I guess, like when my family gathers and there's tons of cousins and aunts and uncles from various parts of the city that I've never seen before sometimes.
Right.
But, oh yeah, nothing quite like the park though. right?
Yeah, because that's like a personal space. That's
Yeah.
like a private family space. But it's not, and society is made up of multiple generations, and we can't like divide ourselves and we can't stratify ourselves along generational lines like that. Although there's something about the Thai language and Thai culture that does kind of create those stratifications, because you have to call everyone older than you P and everyone younger than you Nong, and that sort of implicitly creates that
Barrier of it.
barrier to some degree. There is a kind of formal barrier, but it can also be a familial kind of, relationship as well, because Pinong is like older sibling, younger sibling, right? And so it can be familial, but in my opinion, it can also implicitly create distance, in other contexts as well. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of value in having an intergenerational space like that.
Yeah, and it's interesting how every group just has its own activity. Like I see a lot of older generations, they would do Tai Chi, or they would just sit and gather and have like tea with each other. It's very cute. And you would see, like the family groups would just hang out with mats on the floor and just having a little picnic. And, the maybe 20, 30s, they'll be running.
Yeah, it would be, I gotta be honest, it would be kind of bleak to retire anywhere else. I love the idea of retiring in Thailand more so than any other country, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Now, this appeal of the aerobics, it goes way beyond exercise. It also responds to social isolation, but in different ways depending on the group, right? So according to the Thai Health Promotion Foundation, older participants gain routine and a sense of community. Younger participants get a break from screen-heavy, work-centered routines, which is so crucial for the eyeballs.
Yeah.
You need a break from time to time. For many younger attendees, especially those who came of age during COVID-19, this is also about recovering missed social experiences. Some describe joining not just to work out, but to feel a part of something physical and shared, and something that wasn't always available during lockdown times.
Yeah, I definitely sympathize more with younger people in this particular scenario, because I am really brain rotted online from doom scrolling for just hours and hours, and it would be nice to just go to like an offline space. Even if I record it, it would be nice to just switch off the phone and then focus on something that isn't me. I wonder if that's also why there's a matter of like a digital detox to it as well. For some people who are just on the screens too much, that, if you have to focus on something for 30 minutes and it's rigorous and physical, you get the endorphins going of the exercise. It's really kind of multiple, it's hitting multiple kind of, problems at the same time. It's offering multiple solutions at the same time. So I also think it's reflecting a shift in how people spend their free time. I'm noticing more and more that people aren't just socializing around the bars and around nightlife, that they're also increasingly doing it through activity-based formats like park aerobic sessions now, but also there are run clubs such as the Matcha Run Club and the Sabai Run Club. There's also competitive fitness events like High Rocks Bangkok. So all these formats, all these exercise formats are easy to join. They happen regularly, and they require participation, not just attendance. You can't just show up and that's the end of the experience. So do you see this as a trend that will erode, maybe even replace nightlife?
I have a feeling that nightlife will never go away. Maybe it might, how to call it, like transition to something slightly different to how the older generations did it, where we go and we're just like partying it up.
Yeah.
Maybe the nightlife might be a little bit something more mellow, which we kind of see it now.
We do see some aspect of that, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think this aerobics thing is gonna really replace that, really.
I mean, I spent so much of my 20s like pretending I liked the club. I've spent so much of my youth, I feel really old when I say that, but I spent so much of my youth like pretending that clubs were fun and pretending that, I definitely want to be here where it's dark and I don't know anybody. And,
Okay.
I'm just here with like a couple of my friends and we're all anxious introverts that would rather be at home. No, we all want to be here. So I think that there's an aspect of this where or I'm sort of glad that that culture is at least having some competition for people's time, and it's a healthy competition as well.
True. Now, part of the appeal of the aerobics is how accessible it is. So there's no membership fees. Obviously, you just show up and join. No required equipment. You just wear whatever comfortable stuff you have at home, and no expectation of skill level or appearance. You can take me as an example. I just go. And people show up in whatever they're already wearing and join in. That removes many of the barriers associated with gyms or private fitness spaces. It might sound deeper than it needs to be, but Lumpini Aerobics is less about choreography and more about bringing people into the same rhythm, regardless of age or background. And I think a lot of people like doing this as well because it's a little bit of an accountability issue. Like if you invite a friend, hey, you want to join this class with me? You would feel obligated, now I gotta go, So you don't have to buy a gym membership, you just attend this one.
I'm super 50-50 about that because I find that the gym membership keeps me coming back because I paid money to be there and now I have to make it worth my while. But I find that like if you pay multiple months in advance, then you feel less the need to justify the purchase as the months wear on. Like the first month I was going all the time, and then by month 2, less frequently. Month 3, I'm barely going at all. So I do find that the putting a price on it makes you value it to a certain degree. But I also agree that it shouldn't be price. There shouldn't be a price of admission, There should be I don't know if there should be a different kind of gatekeeping to make it feel more precious or whatever, but I do love that the Lumpini Aerobics are really accessible. Anybody can go, and that is part of the magic of all the generations appearing at once for their own reasons, and finding their own community, their own like tiny version of Bangkok, all in one place. So I do kind of see that the value of accessibility, but I'm of two minds about it for sure. I think accessibility to enter can also be accessibility to leave.
Right.
But I like the idea of inviting a friend for accountability.
Yeah. And now we turn it to our audience. Have you ever tried aerobics at Lumpini before?
Let us know in the comment section of NBT World's online channels. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Spotify.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ